Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth. The question of the week is this: what is the best way to parent children when your spouse has a different way of parenting? Well, early on in my marriage, I realized just how different my husband and I were raised. We both grew up in godly homes, but the culture was a little different. Like conflict resolution, for example, between parents. In one home, parents disagreed but came to a resolution in front of the kids. In the other home, the discussion was behind closed doors. Other topics that we saw were different were the discipline of children, family prayer time, involvement in church, whether sleepovers were allowed. So we grew up in different environments, and it shaped what we accepted as normal. So when our first child was born, we were not in agreement on everything. We had to talk things through. And now, over a decade later, and after our third child, we are still having conversations. But the first thing I would advise is this: raise your child using biblical values. If you and your spouse disagree on that, it would be best to reach out for wise counsel. The Bible is clear about teaching our children daily His commandments and God's laws. If your spouse is parenting against biblical values, which we see examples of in the Bible, it won't end with a godly legacy. Now, let's say your spouse does follow biblical principles, but you just don't agree on certain topics. In that case, talk it out and be united. The passion that the other parent feels is based on how they grew up, but be united in what you decide. Psalm 133 verse 1 says this: how good and pleasant it is for brothers to live together in unity. This can be applied to parents too. When both husband and wife are united, it's good and pleasant. Now, it takes understanding and respect of your spouse to come into that agreement. Kids can sense when there's disagreement between parents, right? They just have this sense. And who do they gravitate to? The weaker one. So stay strong and committed to the decision that you both have made. Now, each child may require a different way to parent based on their needs. And each child is just so special. So make sure that you are praying about what is best for that child. Now, if you have siblings, you know what I'm talking about, right? You can live in the same home, but your personalities can be so different. Be united together in prayer over your child and ask God specifically what that child needs. He will show you. And you may need to reach out for counsel from other people that have faced similar challenges. I've been there. I can't emphasize the importance of praying over your children, whether they go to a private school, public school, high achiever or not. If you have modeled and raised them to love Jesus and to love others, then no matter what route you took, you have done it right. I pray that God blesses you. Thank you.